I remember that.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another My Hero Academia Manga stream. This is chapter 329 that we're covering this week. I got Mark on deck. And Mark, there's always something that we do before we read each new manga chapter, and what would that be?
Recap episode!
Yes, it's the the recap episode. We got chapter 328 that we read last time, and I'm happy that we're actually going to cover this one because aside from a little bit of stain coverage, I don't remember what else was showing up on this one. Oh, and the end part. That's really specific. Although the memory is starting to come together again. It's coming together like a Kingdom Hearts game. But
Face my fears.
don't think twice. My sanctuary and etc. Wait, guys, I don't have an X in my name yet. Don't start it.
Literally, that's what you needed. That's what you need in order to be a member of Organization 13. You get a name, put an X in it.
And then rearrange your entire name.
Pretty much.
But in chapter 328, we had like a little bit of a flashback of Tartarus, in which Stain gets out. He made some quick work of like a single dude who's just being a menace. He was about to be anyway. Nonchalant, Stain just kind of like Stain like slits his throat. And he just like looks around. He hides around the corner. And he just sees like, oh, look at all these other people. Finds someone like in the main like. I guess I forget what
Control.
The control. He's in the control room, and there's one of the guards who's holding on to something dear life. He takes the information, he delivers it. He makes the promise that he's going to deliver it to the right person, and he does. And then we get a shot of like his chin.
That chin, dude. I cannot get over it.
He really does look like Voldemort. I mean, but with an extra chin.
Like, dog. I know that there's such a thing as a defined chin, but holy fuck.
His chin looks like one that was regularly pointed and then Naruto uppercutted him.
You right?
It's also really crazy that Stain like is. I mean, maybe I'm overestimating All For One like in this shot, but I feel like he would see like literally everything here, and for like Stain to see all that, he's like, all right, and he like dives into the water.
Bro, he said, I'm out.
I'm out.
He said, nope.
And then whatchamacallit? Yeah, cut up All Might, his friend who just recently just grew a beard. That's what Crisis does to you.
Yep. Gotta get a scratchy old beard.
We got Catman, and then I believe.
Catman.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the little panel where he's like, "Oh," and his like eyes dilate.
Oh.
But whatchamacallit? We got some funny people in the chat, by the way. Hey guys.
So we got some funny people in the chat.
We got some funny people in the chat. What else is there? We cut forward to World Heroes Association, right? And they're talking about how like all their different heroes from their respective countries are pretty much down to like go at it, but there's like some like barriers such as negotiations that need to be done. But for the US, they're like, oh, she left. Oh, she's gone.
US? Yeah, they already left.
She's gone, and it cuts to her on one of these. Did you ever
Spirit Bomber?
Spirit Bombers? As Stars and Stripe is about to enter Japanese territory.
I was like, holy shit.
Saying that my master's in a pickle. Why would I think twice? And so we just got like a bust shot of her, and she has like a very I wouldn't say Captain America inspired, because like Captain America is just Captain America and they can really like pull from other resources. But I would say, yeah, Captain America inspired.
It's very much like All Might in Captain America had a baby.
This is true. This is fair. I'm really curious about the hairstyle. I think, yeah, it really will just be pointed upward. It'd be great. But yeah, so that was the like relatively quick recap of chapter 328, and now we're gonna jump over to 329.
Cannot wait for you to see this chapter.
Oh, just like that, like confirmation right there. The first page is literally number 329. In the nick of time, a big time maverick from the west. And it just shows like a big shot of like Stars and Stripe, and the hair does like point up a little bit. So that's crazy. All right, that was like the first page. It was just literally like just like a portrait of her.
Wait, do you see the next?
Okay, literally the next page. We have All For One right. He's sitting on what kind of looks like a throne, but it's definitely broken down and it's definitely been patched up. He's got no moves like from left to right.
We need to trim their nails.
Ooh, wait, actually, no, you know, at least those toenails, like on that Nomo on the left, is okay.
Bro, the nails look thick as fuck.
Listen, people are just born with thick toenails. Like, you can't really judge that.
You see what I mean? Bruh. Some big ass toenails.
I'm kind of caught up with the idea that like there's a Nomu with eyes like on the brain, and the teeth are like outside of all that.
This is true. That one does have that.
There's also one like kind of hiding in the behind that one, and we just see a brain of it. But in any case, All For One, full dress suit, still has life support on him, and
His loafers.
His loafers. He's saying a crucial moment is nigh. He says, the escaped convicts and their antics have provided the perfect distraction for keeping the short-staffed police and heroes from devoting their full attention to us. We have played a game of hide and seek on this small island nation, and we have won. As I'm trying to look at the actual illustration shown here, I only see like plant life so far.
It's a cave, and they've got these vines that lay down in front of it to get it camouflaged.
Okay, got you. That's what's happening. I'll go ahead and continue this next page. We got Spinner saying we could have also won by just leaving the country. You misread my intent. Winning in this little match was a short-term objective, and obtaining one for all is the mid-game goal.
That's your mid-game?
Not the final one? I planned ahead for a long life, and within those plans, this very moment presents me with both the greatest obstacle and the ultimate opportunity. Alright, go ahead, Mark.
I have heaps of friends all around the globe. All Might may have eradicated organized crime here in Japan, but other nations are a different story. Once those friends of mine start stirring up trouble, each country will have to weigh its own priorities against the needs of others. Okay, so what's this obstacle and the opportunity? Star and Stripe.
Playing as like a damn fiddle.
Right? Strongest woman around. And the hero who reigns supreme in the land of the free. The home of heroes. She shrugs off cheap tricks and petty tactics. And we see the Statue of Liberty in New York City.
Yeah, definitely.
Move to the next page. So this is a gamble. She will prove far more than a mere nuisance. But should I manage to steal her quirk, the rest of this war will be just a formality.
Holy shit. So they this entire show like centers around like One for All. That's kind of like one of the strongest quirks around because the generational pass down, like, or the history of it. And All For One just said, nah, that's not what I'm really after.
The game's been rigged from the start, Jimbo.
Our sides are for the USA, Jimbo.
Dude, like, he's a sadistic fucking madman. But the dude's he's fucking smart.
As he said, he's definitely had like a long life to prepare for like all of this.
Like he's playing way ahead of this chess game.
But it's understandable. Like he has like the ability to steal all quirks, but he doesn't have all of the quirks in the world, especially the ones that could possibly give him so much trouble. And how he's hyping up Stars and Stripe right now.
It's like,
like
what is
taking
her
care.
quirk?
I know, like once she's out of the picture, like there's almost no one who could really stand up to him aside from any other number one hero, which he would probably then go out and seek. So just getting like the number one hero from Japan is only just the first step, and then everything else is just like, well, we'll take care of it for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, let me continue here. Unlike young Toya and the others, you've devoted yourself to guarding me, but it's nearly time for you to take action as well. Spinner just kind of gives him a look, but All For One continues. In the days to come, you, Spinner, will support Tomura Shigaraki in his crusade to do justice to your name, the one who spins this tale.
Oh wait,
Excuse me?
you forgot to mention, because you said, but it's nearly time for you to take action as well, and he said Iguchi.
Oh, my bad.
I guess Spinner's real name is Iguchi.
So I'm gonna avoid the obvious joke there.
Iguchi.
You were a veritable nobody, and as a heteromorph, you had led a difficult life.
Like
You hear-
discrimination.
Definitely, it's one of those things where it's like you don't need to say anything like after that. It's just like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You hear the rumblings already, don't you? So many out there sympathize with your cause from the shadows, as we see in the next page. Just like, honestly, just like what's left of the city. You see a poster of Spinner, not as like a wanted poster, but simply saying Spinner, our voice. But All For One continues. Redestra was inherently beholden to the old way of things. We got a character here alongside a couple other, I'd say, vigilantes slash villains, but he's kind of like covered with like some bit of cloth like over his face. You can only see his eyes. But behold, the cinders of liberation yearn to burn bright. Paranormal Liberation Front surviving advisors. That's pretty much what they are now.
So they're the advisors that didn't get caught.
Nice. We of the Vanguard Action Support Regiment were assigned to fight under Spinner, who, given who we are, sorry, let me reread that. Who assigned to fight under Spinner, given who we are. Oh, okay, got you. The great skeptic outlasted his peers, and now tell us the liberation is at hand. We are to eliminate what resistance remains and realize this revolution.
This is Justin when he's editing on the top panel.
Top panel. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more laid back than that. Like way more laid back. Oh, but go ahead.
This is when you're time crunching.
This is when I'm time crunching.
We see our boy skeptic right here. He's just like, yes, muster the warriors in the way that's simplest for you lot. The League may rub me the wrong way, but their influence certainly has its uses. We see the wall here. It says "Death to Hero Society." It's and then we see another thing that says "Great something together." Paranormal liberation neutral is a sin. And then we see this other poster, "The Tragedy of Himiko Toga." Plays out to this day. Then we see a toga right there that says Redestro himself saw the light and hope they represent.
Okay.
So he's using them as propaganda.
Yeah, which makes sense because like we've seen these characters like by themselves before Redestro was kind of part of the show or the series, and each and every one of them had like a backstory to them that even if we didn't know their full like story was very impactful as to why they are how they are.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the next page, we see Toya in the middle of a forest. It makes no difference whether or not the League of Villains are true liberators, destined to accept this mission and burden. Then we see Spinner, hold them sacred. Then we see what looks like Stain on the other side. We shall endow them with divinity. Then we see Shigaraki, his cape, and here his his shroud, shredded cape, like torn apart along with his hair. Once Tomura Shigaraki has destroyed all, we shall sow the seeds of the future.
Ooh, so it's kind of cool to get that kind of perspective. Like their actions, like aside from like their own purpose, they also, I guess there's also, I guess, a way of influence that they carry with the propaganda the Redestro's like doing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're serving another purpose, whether that's their intent or not. But we cut over to like a meanwhile, we have Endeavor just simply being like a flying comet.
It's Valstrax.
I'm sorry, wait, what was that?
It's Valstrax.
Oh, it's Valstrax. Yes, of course. The flying comet. And then inside the car right next to them, or next to Endeavor, we got Hawks and Best Eunice. Hawks starts off, she'll be entering our airspace soon. Probably mentioning Stars and Stripe. After meeting up, let's start planning right away. It's seriously reassuring to have Star on our side. But are they going to throw the book at her?
After all this.
After all of this. Best Eunice says her nature may prove our salvation. For quite some time, I've wanted to chat with her about that treasured vintage denim from the Gold Rush.
Why did she have denim from the Gold Rush?
I don't know, but you best know that Best Eunice is looking at that. I fucking love Best Eunice sometimes. He just says things. He just says it outland, just like frankly, as a matter of fact. But we get something from the intercoms. Sakachi here. Endeavor, Hawks, you listening? A report just came in now along her flight path, came in now along her flight path. 50 kilometers ahead of the landing point is him. He's shown himself.
Dude, you ain't ready. You ain't fucking ready.
Shit. 3, 2, 1. Next page.
Look at this spread.
What the fuck is that? Oh, okay. It's just a really close-up shot of what's probably all for Shiggy, as we see like the Stars and Stripe like from the far distance, but you can recognize that formation.
Yeah, she's with an entire bomber squadron.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see Shiggy is right there with the hole through his hand.
You know what? That whole reminds me of like that one dude from Naruto, like way back
they're gonna
when.
say Jesus.
Excuse me? Well, I guess technically you're right, but that's not what I was referencing.
I heard someone say, they're like, anyone think that's a Jesus reference? I was like, I don't think so, but I can see why you'd say that.
The symbolism, I can see it. Oh shit. I guess I'll continue these ones. It's just the last two. Yeah, these last 2 pages actually. It feels kind of short in retrospect, but we got this. We got a shot of.
Setup.
Yeah, we got. Gosh, we got this small but very impactful panel of Stars and Stripe from the front. She's absolutely built.
Buff.
She starts off, such a warm welcome. Before I've even arrived, you're here, you're free to do as you please.
You're that free to do as you please, mister?
Okay, my bad. I totally misread how that was gonna play out. Any case,
All good.
We got Shigaraki just kind of giving her like the dark stare. And she continues, "Are you the villain that they call All for One?" And he just says, "Good question. What exactly am I?"
Now you see, the only difference is in the other translation. I think the line they did felt better because he said, he said, "It's a good question. Who am I? Who exactly am I?"
No,
and I thought that sounded way better to me because of All for One taking him over and everything.
Understandable, actually. You know, that's understandable as well. I think both can be like great interchangeably. Because honestly, like Shigaraki's like at a point where like not only does he have like 2 personalities like popping up, one is his own, the other one's All for One. And the fact is, like, he's definitely just kind of changed, like, internally. He may be, like, a person still, but the changes are kind of, like, going beyond what a normal person would go through. Saying that as he's, like, standing on top of a flying Nomu.
I know, it's like those little things. What are those little shits?
My god, dude.
Like, what are they? Are they mouths? Or eyes?
They're just
things.
Appendages, really.
Appendages.
But that's quite the setup that they just like threw at us.
Oh no, it's like he's going to fight her already. He's not even letting her get to Japan. He's like, all right, interception.
Yeah. And considering that All For One's still like part of like Shigaraki at this point means that like that he will not hesitate to go steal that quirk right then and there.
That's if she'll let him.
This is true. We also have to like point out that this is like going to be an aerial fight.
I'm so curious what her quirk is.
If I had to like really guess, because this is I'm also thinking about like, what was it, Superhero High, that ye old like Disney movie that they made, where the kid was like so weak he was essentially quirkless, but then his powers manifested and he actually got like a double deal for that. He got the strength, he got the flight. So part of me is thinking that Stars and Stripe actually could just simply fly.
I am just the comedy sense of stereotypes on my end in terms of American stereotypes, but done in a way that I'd be like, that's tight.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of a Smite skin, like Freedom Overload Poseidon. Like, I'll show you a picture so you can understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like, all right, here it is.
She can also just have like a super strength type of quirk, and then if she is able to coordinate just fine, literally jump between like bombers, which I think would be super tight. Like for someone who doesn't even fly to just go through like this type of like a fight like that would be great. And I think Shigaraki still has like a lot of quirks up his sleeve that we haven't seen quite yet. And truth be told, I don't remember every single one that he's even shown so far. But
I want to see something like that.
hold on, guys. I'm going to be pulling up a picture here. Oh yeah, it's that old skin from Smite.
I fucking love that skin. It's like the most like I don't just love it because like it's a good design. It really is, but I also love just how fucking like over the top American it is.
There's something excessively American about it.
It's like, you know, it's meant to play on our stereotypes, but at the same time you fucking love it just because of how over the top it is.
Just how bold it is.
It's like, I want to see her have like an eagle like that as like as like some kind of projection quirk. That'd be amazing.
An eagle stand?
Exactly.
Arms absolutely folded.
Dog, look at that back and those arms. I'm like, God.
I think I'd rather take the beak after all.
But like, I'm assuming if she's All Might's student, I'm assuming she's going to be very, because if you notice her armor, it reminds me a bit of Wonder Woman.
I mean, there could definitely be some inspiration there, just costume design.
Yeah, like it looks like a Wonder Woman, of course, with a Captain America style influence, and of course the cape.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting kind of like I want to say flight, maybe some kind of flight and strength, kind of like Superman.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like, I think like strength and flying might be a little bit too overpowerful, but I mean that is to say that can't be a possibility. So it could happen.
Because just the way that's what I get from looking at her, but looks can be deceiving.
Mm-hmm. Or it could be a little bit... Oh,
for all we know, her quirk could literally be something we would never expect.
Yeah, honestly, like if it was something where, I mean, I'm kind of like getting like Mirio's inspiration from this, but what if it's like a very simplistic? Well, no, I wouldn't say simplistic, but like a quirk that that can be a little bit complicated as far as like how you want to utilize it. Like, what if she can like propel herself in like a vector direction, and that can be like her way of flying. It could be also her way of like literally knocking the lights out of you.
It could be. I mean, if she can set herself on a direct path where it defies all the laws of physics like that, then that's gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm. But of course,
the other thing,
yeah.
I'm assuming because a lot of the heroes usually name themselves in a way that not only represents them, but it also represents to some degree their quirk.
Yeah. Like
It's like,
Snipe, like
yeah,
Ectoplasm.
and I mean,
Midnight's
there's a
kind of
couple
an exceptions.
yeah, there's a
Somewhat.
couple of exceptions. Exceptions I would say like are Endeavor and like Deku,
Okay, yeah.
whereas All Might, All Might, he was
Yeah.
very strong.
Mm-hmm. And it's
And then we
also the
have
inspiration for the quirks.
and we have Uravity, gravity, your gravity.
Yeah. Your gravity.
And then we've got like Great Boy. Then we've got Sugar Rush.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, yeah, like there's just like a few others would be like Gran Torino. He's like that's a reference to the old Gran Torino from America.
Mm. And then
But
there's Wash.
yeah, there is Wash. There is definitely Wash.
Lunch Rush.
Lunch Rush. But I mean, there's like Death Arms. I mean, that didn't fit, but like
I get it. I get it.
It's like he's got strong arms.
Yeah.
But my point is, I think I'm wondering if her power is star related or if that's simply just a play on America.
Yeah, it could be either or, and I can understand either. I
She
will say
punches with the force of a fucking exploding star.
I would also say that like another like hero name that doesn't not 100% like match up, or at least like when the Western sees this, is Crust.
This is true.
But I believe in Japanese, like that's actually like a little bit more related. I'll have to look into it a little bit more, but
I guess you could compare Crust to a shield.
I think I'm trying to remember like that like his hero name has some like significance. I just don't remember it from the top of my head actually.
What his name is in Japanese?
Yeah, so there's actually a little bit more to that.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Okay. I would also say, I mean, honestly, like the best one is Best Genius.
Best Genus is built different.
He's just different. He's actually Kanye West.
And I'm Kanye West.
Oh my god, Kanye walking in with that fit and it becomes relevant. I can't believe it. It's so outlandish that I might try it. And
Well,
then
I'm seeing the picture of the Crust right now, and I'm just like, I do miss this man.
he has so much potential. Well, I mean, like honestly, maybe it's just a simple fact that like he didn't need to prove himself. Like you see it, like you know he's like what he's about, and he's just been carrying it forward, even if we didn't really see him as much.
I still say, he went out the biggest fucking way a hero could go, because he threw his shield, took off that Nomu's arm so Aizawa wouldn't get caught, and then like he's like Crust, and then you just see Crust, thumbs up, big ass smile, didn't even regret it. He's just like, that's what a hero does, and I'm just like, pour one out for Crust.
Stan looking at that dude's like, this is a real one.
That's our fucking real hero. And someone pointed out, or this wiki actually points out, I didn't think about that he actually was the first of the top 10 pro heroes that actually died.
Yeesh. What was Lady Nagant had like a hero name.
Lady Nagant.
No, it was something else, right?
Nah, her name is actually Lady Nagant.
Ooh, okay.
Like sure, she has a normal name, but Lady Nagant is was her hero name.
Okay. All right.
Lady Nagant's naming herself after the famous Russian rival.
Oh, okay. Because that just seemed okay. I got it.
The Mosin Nagant. Her name is Kaina Satsumi.
Oh, okay. All right, because it really just came off as like Shoto.
Like Shoto. That's true, because Shoto's hero name is literally his name.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I hope he does like reconsider, and if he sticks with like Shoto, that's fine. But that just seemed like just like on the spot type of like name curation.
I mean, he could have been Flash Fire. He could have been Icy Hot.
Icy hot. I'm not sure about that one.
Could have been half and half.
I think Bakugo is just better off giving him the nickname there.
Could have been half and half. Half and half
And
bastard.
and then Ida for a little bit had just kind of stuck with his name, but then he eventually like upholded that and became
Ingenium.
yeah. So
And of course there was also Snatch, the sand hero that we saw get killed when they got Overhaul.
yeah, I do remember that. That
That was a
sucked.
cool power.
It's so unfortunate. Like that was like a really quick bit that we got to see. Like, oh hey, here's an idea. Oh, it's gone.
The sand
Damn.
lion was fucking sick as fuck though to see.
Mm. But yeah, going back to Stars and Stripe, it could it really could just be a play on like just simply like who she is and what she represents, but it could also just be like that's the quirk. I shoot out American flags. Why is it so specific? I don't know, but like, could you think of a different name? Perhaps not. I drape people with the American flag.
Right, and like I'm just wondering what's gonna happen to those bombers, to the spirit bombers. Like, I don't know if Shigaraki is literally gonna take out an entire squadron right now.
I think he could. I mean,
He definitely can, but I'm like, is he actually going to do that?
they're kind of in the way, so if it comes down to it, then he'll do it.
That's definitely gonna piss off Star and Stripe.
Mm-hmm. I think he's kind of like going into this battle and just knowing that like it's gonna be a fight.
Oh, it's gonna be a very big fight. Like they're probably like, here's the thing. This is in the middle of the ocean,
It's in the middle of the ocean.
above the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. Either way, it's like there ain't any land around right now. This is 50 kilometers off the coast.
Mm-hmm. And even with like our top like three just kind of in the know of this fight that's about to unfold, they can't really do much. Except
Endeavor
for
might be able
Endeavor.
to
Endeavor
get
can
there.
do something. But Hawks is currently like slightly not prepped for this.
His wings are still growing back.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, but at least it grows back. And
Endeavor's basically a fucking rocket booster, so he can get there pretty quickly.
yeah. But I think because of the fact that he needs to fly could also limit him a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he's like one of those people who's better off like grounded and shooting up his flames, but if need to, he can like fly and do stuff with that. It just simply adds to that like level of endurance he needs to like uphold.
I mean, he nearly killed Shigaraki.
Nearly did.
He nearly finished it.
He almost did it. Everyone went in. I'm happy that like that was the outcome of that fight, where it's like Shigaraki by himself almost died despite just getting the new power.
It's
Not
like even as
100%,
broken
but-
as he still wasn't unbeatable.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I think it's a great thing that like in All for One is not just setting his sights for like One for All and just that's it. Like there's a lot more in store. The fact is that like if he has the opportunity to take Stars and Stripe, he will, even if he doesn't have like One for All. It's great.
It's like he still wants to take down the biggest heroes around the world, so no resistance.
Yeah, he did say like she like would pose like one of the bigger threats, not the only threat, but definitely one of the bigger threats. So
It was just like, I'm like, is she that strong?
I guess so, because like this is like one of those like matchups that is on par to when in Naruto they actually had the third Hokage go face to face with Orochimaru. Like they were
Wasn't the
hyping
third? Was the third the one that was with the white hair and water, or am I thinking of the second Hokage?
Oh, that's second Hokage. Third one was kind of like he was the one who summons the monkey.
Oh, Monkey.
But I remember one of the Anbu like who was fighting on the sideline. This is like Hokage level like fighting right here. Like hold on. When a show like goes in and just kind of gives you like a sneak peek at like what the higher tier end of combat's gonna look like, that's when you know like it gets real. Although I would say because Naruto exists and had that this doesn't signify like the end or like the closer end of it. Although like with My Hero, like they can definitely do that. But the fact is that they're showing much more like higher level like bits of combat here. We're definitely kind of getting closer to like what would be an end of like a saga, if you will.
Yep. Like I do not think My Hero. I don't think it's going to end with just the first part. Like I don't think it's going to end just here. I think that we very much could get a part 2 or a Shippuden or a Z, some kind of continuation.
Electric Boogaloo.
That is just the most common joke to say.
But
Electric
Horikoshi would,
Boogaloo.
but he'd be down for it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like Kishimoto told him that he should aim to go as high as Oda, and I'm like, that's a big ask.
just do it. You know you can do it. Just
Oh yeah, like I believe in Horikoshi. I feel like the world he set up, it's definitely possible. You just got to put the work in.
and honestly, like I think Horikoshi's kind of in his own realm with this series right now. Just focusing on like what's what like going forward with this series. So I mean, I'm just happy that like it's taking its own pacing here, and for both like the slowdown, but also like the high like pace like type of like conflicts that we see, and how the world's changing too. Especially, it's not like a slice of life episodic type of series. It's like things change. Like things are
And they
actually
change
changing.
quick.
But I ooh, like I'm starting to see like what could possibly happen in this chapter, going forward, or the next chapter. It's gonna be a tough fight for both sides. I can see it. I'm just picturing it. But I think it might play to the villain side a little bit more so. They might actually be able to do a good number to Stars and Stripe, but may not fully like succeed in everything. She may not be captured or something like that, but I think she might actually get beat. Like we'll see though.
This would be bad if she got beat. This would be bad.
That'd be a really bad sign for sure. But it also kind of shows like a good progression towards Shigaraki's side, whether like he wants that or not. But it shows that he is getting stronger and therefore becoming a bigger threat. So that the events from last time he had like a full-on battle won't be the same.
Pretty much, he's like, remember how I lost the last time? Cap, that ain't happening again.
Yeah, that's not happening anymore.
I mean, he's still figuring out how to use everything. Like he got used to his new quirk pretty fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So we know he's smart enough.
Right, and now like a good amount of time has passed now, and I don't think he's at full completion, right? But right, because like he still has a couple days before then. So this is near complete version. Which
Yeah,
is,
he's definitely getting close to being fully ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's, they said 3 days.
3 days, and honestly, like just seeing the growth from Shigaraki from the start to now is so crazy.
He went from being to what seemed like just a spiteful brat to being honestly a tragedy.
Yeah, tragedy, but also a really like threatening villain.
Oh yeah, like I think that I will not condone everything that he's done at all.
Of course.
But I will say that I think everything that's happened to him, it's really unfortunate. Like honestly, his life could have been so different.
I think that's also the reason why, like, when Deku says he wants to save him initially, we can understand that. It's not like it's like come on, no, Deku, stop. It's like you know, if there's any possibility to do that, then he should be saved.
Because it's like, I doubt that. It's like, you know, looking at it the way he grew up, he didn't want to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he wanted to be a hero. He wanted to he wanted to look up like to his grandmother, but his quirk was pretty vicious.
It's also the fact that like family matters caused that too.
Yeah,
Mainly on the father.
Yeah, and I mean, it's what sucks is his dad realized how bad he fucked up, and he was gonna go apologize, and it was too late.
Yeah, it was already too late. But let's see, when does next chapter release? I'm gonna check out the website right now just to see. Boop, boop. So today's October 10th, right? Next one's coming in a week. Nice.
Let's go.
That'll be 330, actually.
Also, in the most recent chapter of Dr. Stone, we learned that the final arc is starting.
The final arc. Honestly, quick aside, I'm happy that it's not gonna like try to like prolong itself that long for so long. Give it the time it needs to just, flesh out as much as it wants to and end whenever it wants to.
So basically do the Demon Slayer, but with Dr. Stone?
Yeah, essentially. Actually, I don't even remember how many chapters for Demon Slayer is out there. Do you know?
204, 205.
That's not bad. It seems relatively short in comparison, but like honestly, like if it wants to tell the story exactly how it wants to tell it, then let it be as long as it needs to be. So I'm just glad that like it's a story that's finished and like the work has been laid out. So when it comes to like the anime adaptation, like it's ready. It has all the resources. So yeah, super happy about like Demon Slayer. Happy that Doctor Stone still goes on, but it's going to finish soon. And with My Hero, just like things are ramping up, and I still have to watch season 5 or 6, whichever, which one I didn't watch. But yeah, I'm just glad that things are progressing the way that they are. But yeah, all right. I think we'll go ahead and call it here. So yeah, that's been chapter 329.